please don't call me arrogant, because what I'm saying is true. I'm European champion, so I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
He began in the shadows.
Jose stood behind me, listened, learned, looked, wrote, remembered.
When he got his chance, he didn't just grasp it, he throttled it.
Relatively early in his career and what he's won so far, if he carries on with that, then he is going to be up there with the greatest and possibly the one that you put on top of all of them.
Mourinho is a great coach and so thorough with details. He prepares for games like nobody else.
I'm not putting pressure on you about we have to win. I don't want to put that kind of pressure, but we cannot lose. We cannot lose.
I don't think failure is a word in his dictionary.
His players would do anything for him.
And that was his best thing, I think, that he had a great connection with all the players.
He has the credentials to be the best we've ever seen.
There are many ways to become a great manager, but mostly I believe that the most difficult thing is to lead men with different cultures, with different brains, with different qualities, and I think to manage this is the most important quality.
Champions Leagues, doubles, trebles, countless manager and personal awards. Many moments already stand out in Jose Mourinho's career, but one announced him to the watching world. With Porto trailing Manchester United in the last 16 of the 2004 Champions League, Costinha scored. Porto were through, Manchester United out, and Jose Mourinho's career was off and running.
A crucial moment for my career was my first season playing Champions League, and to go with Porto and beat Man United at Old Trafford and score a goal in minute 90 or 91 was a magic moment for me.
Jose Mourinho was born in Setúbal, southern Portugal, with football in his blood. His father, Felix, was a professional goalkeeper, but his son's playing career would never really get off the ground. However, that would not restrict the aspirational young coach.
Like a player, you have to be born with some natural talent, and after that there are many ways of become a top manager. I don't like to say that to become a great manager you had to be a great player, because in this moment you have many of us in the top and we weren't a great player. So there are many ways to become a great manager.
Mourinho got his break at Sporting Lisbon, thanks to an Englishman.
Jose introduced himself to me because the president couldn't, said who he was, what he was, and that he was to be my interpreter. Spoke very good English, good-looking guy, told him not to stand next to me too many times, and we got stuck into the job. It was as simple as that.
It gave me a great chance of work at the top level when I was so young, and that for me was very important.
I needed him on the pitch every day, stood behind me, listened, learned, looked, wrote, remembered.
When Robson moved from Sporting Lisbon to Porto, Mourinho went with him. He was no longer an addition to his managerial team, he was a vital part of it.
Is it possible? I was an interpreter. Why? Because I could speak English and nobody else could do it. That's the reality. But to call interpreter to somebody that was preparing matches, analyzing, coaching on the pitch, to call him interpreter, I think it's from the beginning the wrong words, but not a problem for me.
I asked him now and again to write out a tactical appreciation report on opponents that we're going to play in the very, very near future. I have to tell you, he produced the best tactical and appreciation of how our opponents play that I've seen.
I was with him in 3 different clubs, around 5-6 years together, and we were the extreme, a young boy that wants to make a career and of course help his boss, and in the other way, a top manager in Europe in that time.
Porto won the 1994 Portuguese Cup, followed by the league in 95 and 96, before Robson and Mourinho moved to Barcelona.
One thing I did like about him, whatever I said to him to tell the players, I always got the strong feeling that he was saying to the players exactly what I was saying and in the manner I was saying it. And I have to tell you this also, that in all the 3 clubs that we worked together, Sporting Lisbon, Porto Football Club, Barcelona, all the players, knowing that he wasn't a great player, he wasn't one of them as a player, but they liked him, appreciated him, and they totally respected him.
After 3 cup successes at Barcelona, Robson was replaced at the Nou Camp. But Mourinho stayed to work with Dutchman Louis van Gaal, winning 2 league titles. In 2000, Mourinho was ready to go it alone as manager of Benfica. He wouldn't last long. After a row with the president, Mourinho quit to take charge of a smaller club, União Leiria, steering them to 5th, their highest ever league position. Mourinho's detailed reports and analysis of opponents caught the eye of Porto, where Mourinho and his coaching team would make their mark.
The way we work is, I think, is different from most of the managers. When we think about the method, when we think about what to do in relation with the team to organize the team to play the way he wants, my contribution is in a complement of his ideas.
With only a few months of their first season remaining, Mourinho was already planning ahead.
What we did in that first 3 months was like analyzing the situation, preparing the next season, and what happened after is history.
In Mourinho's first full season, Porto won the league in record-breaking style. Won 27, drawn 5, lost just 2.
It was a great time. It was a great time for me to put the team in the right place in the Portuguese football. And we could do, in 2 consecutive years, we did 2 trebles.
Porto followed the league win with victory in the domestic cup, before beating Celtic 3-2 in the UEFA Cup final, to complete an incredible treble.
We made history because it's the first time this cup goes to our country, so it's fantastic, and at the same time we did also history because we won in the same season the Portuguese league and the European competition. It's fantastic for us, and I'm proud of the kids, and I'm also proud because the match was an incredible match.
The following season launched Mourinho into superstardom. Porto had won the league, but their win over Manchester United in the last 16 of the Champions League grabbed everyone's attention.
To go with Porto and beat Man United at Old Trafford and score a goal in minute 90 or 91, when everybody was thinking we were out of the competition, was a magic moment for me.
After a quarter-final win over Lyon and a narrow victory over Deportivo La Coruña, Porto would meet Monaco in the 2004 Champions League final. Mourinho's men were supreme. Goals from Carlos Alberto, Deco, and then Elenichev clinched Porto only the 2nd European Cup in their history. Rumours had been rife that the ambitious Mourinho was leaving Porto for English side Chelsea. The moment the cup was won, it was clear he was already looking forward.
It's almost for sure my last match, but I think in 2 years' time we did it great, and I'm proud of myself and proud of the players, and we made history. I have to keep working and try to get success in my next step.
Another page had turned.